Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and we're going inside the war room with the Houston Texans. We're going to take a look at their team needs to see what players could be possible targets to fill those needs. But first, let's take a look at the upcoming selections the Texans have in this year's draft.
The Houston Texans entered the 2013 draft with 9 draft selections, and I think this is an opportunity to draft some players to get them over the hump. Now let's take a look at some of their draft needs, not in necessarily any order, but they do need a big play wide receiver opposite of Andre Johnson. They need depth on the offensive line, an inside linebacker next to Brian Cushing, a fullback, and definitely a nose tackle to provide some depth. Now you look at the first round in my 7-round mock draft, pick number 27, I have them taking DeAndre Hopkins out of Clemson. I like the way this guy plays the game. Reminds me a lot of Sidney Rice and way he high points the football, a little stiff in his movement, but definitely is a playmaker and will fill that role of a complementary receiver opposite of Andre Johnson. In the second round, I have Jonathan Cyprien going to the Houston Texans. You look at what he brings to the table, a guy that's not afraid to step up and make plays in the box, but also has the ability to cover tight ends. Now you can get creative in your coverage packages, putting him and Ed Reed on the field at the same time. With 2 picks in the third round, I have a surprise here. Mike Glennon out of NC State. Let's be honest. We've seen the ceiling that Matt Schaub has reached, and they have to get better depth behind Matt Schaub. I know they have TJ Yates, but let's be honest, Glennon is a lot better than Yates. Case Keenum, I think this would be an outstanding pick for the Houston Texans. And also landing the inside linebacker, John Bostic out of Florida, 6'1", 245, a guy that's a thumper, can lay the lumber, and is more effective on blitzes than he is in coverage. So I think that could be handled by Brian Cushing. So this would be a great pick for Houston in that defense. In the fourth round, I have them going running back Mike Gillislee out of Florida. I became impressed with this guy each and every week. Very underrated inside running ability, and also has that speed to take the distance. I think he can help this team out early on in his career as a returner. Bolstering the depth at the secondary position, I like Will Davis out of Utah State, a guy that's active around the ball, can get caught looking in the backfield, but definitely when he finds the ball, he can come away with interceptions. The Texans need a fullback to get one of the best ones in the country. Zach Lyon is going to get pigeonholed because he's a white running back. They're going to instantly move him to fullback because this guy has some outstanding running ability. So that gives them that versatility in their offense. He can also go in that single back formation. I also like them adding depth at the center position with Mario Benavides out of Louisville. Played in a similar style of offense at Louisville, and I think he's a great fit. Ideal center, not as big, but perfect for that zone blocking scheme. And in the 7th round, I have Torrick Williams, defensive end, outside linebacker from FIU, a guy that played defensive end exclusively at Florida International, but I think he has the ability to stand up and be an edge rusher in that 3-4 defense. Now let's take a look at the roundup of the 7 selections in this 7-round mock draft. DeAndre Hopkins, outstanding fit. You look at Cyprien. Glennon will be a quarterback of the future for Houston, in my opinion. I love the Zach Lyon pick as well. Benavides is a guy that fits perfectly to what they want to do. So I think these guys will be enough to get Houston over the hump in the playoffs. And I want to give a huge shout out to Texans fan forums for always showing football game plan support.